And your purpose. And like always, we start off with a little this beat, so we can get going, get popping, and keep it real, 10 toes down. You know how we do it. So y'all just go on and hit on in and log on in, cause I know y'all feeling it. So like you said, we were talking about what's your purpose?
It's Tuesday.
So understanding your purpose. So we're gonna talk about what is your purpose and how do you know when it's your purpose and recognizing your purpose.
Really, you don't know it, man, until you actually get out there and start branching
Exploring.
out and exploring, and and then when you find it, it's not gonna even be what you think it was. It is in life. Like I found mine, and mine is to praise and worship God. You know what I'm saying? To
Great purpose.
That's my purpose. Why I'm here, to pass this test, this flesh test, and all of this time, and make it back home. So, if you know that, then a lot of other stuff doesn't bother you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I ain't got this or I ain't got that. It's not about right now. This ain't the time to get all that extra stuff. So.
Yeah, the purpose is when you find your purpose, it's at the end of your purpose, So like when is enough for your purpose? A lot of us talk about where we want to get to, and sometimes we get there, and sometimes we try to exceed our purpose, and it don't always turn out so good after that. So don't exceed your purpose, when you get there, just level it off. Level it off.
Well, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting when you say don't exceed your purpose. Well, how do you know the measurement of your purpose? I mean, how do you know that? How do you know when your purpose is actually at its destiny or at its end?
Well, most of the time, like I say, you've been with you longer than anybody. You should know a cutoff point for yourself, because we all used to be young. We get to a certain age, then we get to a certain age. So in our mind, I'm going to make this much, man, I'm going to do so-and-so. And then you got there. But sometimes you see your purpose. Sometimes your purpose could be, like he said, something else. Be with your family now. Do something different now. You don't need to exceed that purpose. Sometimes you may have went to your limit, and you might have went past your limit. So
It turns into that you're doing too much.
yeah, there you go. Like cutting off that last 10, like we said last time in the last podcast, cutting off that last 10. Sometimes don't exceed your purpose, man, because you don't want to shorten. You don't want to shorten your life limit.
Yeah.
And that's interesting because it comes to the next question. Is there a spiritual purpose and is there a personal purpose? Like he just mentioned, where, when you reach to a certain destiny of your purpose, you say, okay, then my purpose is being with my family. Now, separate from a spiritual purpose, where you don't know the results or the destiny of your spiritual purpose. Is there such a thing as two different purposes?
I think there can be. I think there can be two different purposes to where they eventually combine and meet towards the end and find their way.
Yeah. Like you got these things I try to do from time to time, like take a tree, for example. A tree bears fruit. Is the fruit for the tree or is it for us? You know what I'm saying? A tree provides shade. Is the shade for the tree itself or is the shade for you? Look at those purposes, so just got to make some parodies and study things and look at things in a different manner sometimes. Like say the tree, it bears fruit. You don't see the fruit eating its own, the tree eating its own fruit. It could be for you. So its purpose is maybe annually or blah, blah, blah. To get,
Sometimes our purpose is not necessarily for us, but for those that need.
Like the tree.
Those that need.
Yeah.
So get to some examples in our life, people and examples in our life that actually, like some of the role models and some of the people that came before us, like Mandela, understanding his purpose from our standpoint, knowing that what he went through. How do you guys feel about that as being a purpose? Do you believe that was his purpose of getting to his point in life where he went through what he went through? Because I know I remember reading where one of his children asked him, Grandpa, you spend more time with the people than you do with us. Then his response was, well, the people don't get what you get from me. They don't see the things that you see from me. When I come home, I take my shoes off. Your grandpa lay with a cover and take a nap, sit in front of the TV and fall asleep, drink tea and water with his feet crossed with no socks on. People don't get to see that.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? Then the unique thing that you're able to see. You know what I'm saying? And be able to appreciate. The people only see the political side of me. They don't get the intimate side of me. You know, is that a way of splitting your purpose?
It's just a different title, man. Just the same person, same purpose, but just different titles like father, mother, daughter, son, uncle. Just, but within the same group, grouping, like different people need different things, like the family, like you're saying, he's already instilled that into them. They know they're walking right. They got hope and stuff, but the outsiders, you know what I'm saying, they don't, like you said, they don't get that time to grow and learn constantly every day. Like grandpa, you know what I mean? Their personal time, But there's different purpose. There's a flesh purpose and there's a spiritual purpose, and you just have to, through time and experiencing, and you stay connected to the vine, you can learn that the spiritual one outweighs that flesh one.
But are we able to recognize somebody else's purpose?
Some people can.
Some people can, especially if they have an impact on those that see your purpose.
So, for instance, let's take it down. Now, let's take it even down. Let's take it to the hood. You know what I'm saying? Let's take it down to the streets, to the hoods, because we see a lot of people out there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of youngsters. We see a lot of people out doing what they do. Now, can I view that as this is their purpose, or just they just randomly living life? They doing what they do.
It's like the stepping stones, the very beginning.
Then how do we know? Yeah, and how do we know that they purpose to do what they doing?
It starts in the household, really, man.
Experience through life.
Yeah, and then like
everyone goes through their own experiences and learns as they go. Everyone has a different growing rate. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone processes things differently. You can't compare apples to oranges. Everyone's different.
Mm-hmm. And because I like to reflect back on me growing up. And I went through pretty much laid the path and went pretty much the same scenario as a lot of them out in the streets. And growing up, I looked at it like, you know what, I ain't got a purpose. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna live past 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? This is my purpose. My purpose may be just in the streets doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? And but going through the transformation and the transition I went through being incarcerated was actually my journey to be able to finish and to continue my purpose.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? So to look at somebody that's a similar situation, that's going through what I went through, then really basically I can't really make a call on that other than the fact that this
was
is
a part of your purpose. You had to go through it to have other people relate to it.
Exactly.
And see
You have to
it.
appreciate when you get older.
Like Kane said, everyone has their own stepping stone. You had to go through your extreme change in your life in order for you to realize what your purpose was, which made you change.
And what's funny about that is, like you just said the good word, accepting it. Some people don't accept it and end up under that river bottom. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen that too often. People hiding from their destination or their purpose, or who they could have been or wanted to be, and sometimes it's overwhelming for some people, and they hide.
Fear.
They hide from that purpose. Don't get in your own way.
So,
Right.
So do you have a glimpse into your purpose? You.
Oh,
Sam.
I think I was going over there.
You have
Yeah,
a glimpse into your purpose.
yeah. Well,
So can you
I've been glimpsing into mine for a long time. It's just I've been ahead of myself for a long time. I mean, this brain is something else. So my purpose is to be right here with y'all doing what we're doing and trying to reach people. You know what I'm saying? To be that voice where the people on the street or somebody thinking what they thinking, it could be somewhere, and all of a sudden we could be that voice. Like, man, I was kind of thinking like that. So now we could be that voice for them. That's why I said we want you to call in, respond to us. We want your thoughts so we could transform them back to you for the world could hear. Because It don't take all those so-called high-profile people to do what we're doing. We're just as intelligent as most people. And here's the purpose, to show you that us regular people are just as cool or as important as anybody that y'all thought was important that get glamorized on this vision.
Nobody made a grandiose change overnight. It's always been a bunch of little things they do throughout every day that makes a big change. So every day you got a purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, like they say, there's a saying, when the rich people put down the poor people, and I always challenge them, I said, without poor people, there wouldn't be rich people, because us poor people is the one making y'all rich from buying your commodities. You know, so it's all connected. And like I say, don't get ahead of yourself, you know, because everybody needs everybody. Like that tree, he just sitting there giving out that fruit. The tree ain't asking for nothing, just a little water here and there. You know what I'm saying? A little trimming. You know, try to be that tree. Make your purpose for somebody else other than yourself. The tree just sitting there.
Exactly.
You know, be a tree.
So a lot of households, when it's broken up, you know, without fathers or mothers, you know what I'm saying, then you have someone step in as a, you know, a surrogate or a step parent or whatever, you know what I'm saying, is they fulfilling that purpose in that relationship that otherwise wouldn't be there, wouldn't be present. You know. So, and that's what the audience, I mean, if you have any input in this, I mean, let us know as far as your purpose, you know, understanding your purpose. Because, I mean, actually, I can get a feel of it. Okay, my purpose is to, I can put a line on and say, save lives. And this is what I need to do to save lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's my purpose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And we had a good topic about understanding the destiny of your purpose. You know, like we were saying before, it don't have to go all the way where we think, okay, our purpose meant to go all the way to the end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My purpose can be 3/4 into whatever that's my destiny. Mm-hmm. Feel me? So like tomorrow I can go out and get, you know, my purpose don't end that quick. Keep it real. Go out.
Now you got something else to do, man.
I got something. Yeah, I gotta go to. I gotta go to. Where we gotta go?
Yeah.
Popeyes, the church.
Yeah, we had churches. Yeah, we had the churches.
But you know, so we keep it real. But getting on the point that, you know what I'm saying, I can go out and anything can happen. Feel what I'm saying? But my purpose was completed. Feel what I'm saying? Because of the lives been touched,
and you
the people been touched, and the change and transition in my life.
It's the fruits of your labor when you look out and see that you can actually see a physical difference on the thing, on the changes you made, and you can start to accept it. You know, and it also depends on the type of person you are too.
Right.
If you're a complacent person, you'll accept it sooner. If you're not, you're gonna go harder. You're gonna find a new purpose. Because we always got a purpose until we're gone. You're here for a reason.
Well, we breathing.
Still here for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
As long as you
sometimes
got
that purpose, 30, you got a 30-day limit to make that purpose, like paying your bills. You got a 30-day purpose
It's
for 12 months.
It's amazing.
And then you try to get it.
It's amazing because your purpose can be so, I mean, like, for instance, you know, where I think, okay, I went to school for, this is going to be my career, it's going to be my hobby, and turn around that it got detrained, the train because of my situation. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm working somewhere else, but then, I mean, just because I go to school for it don't mean this is going to be my career. This is going to be my purpose. This is going to be my, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And what I'm really good at. I was trained in this, but this ain't what I'm good at.
Yeah.
You know? So a lot of situations we have to understand like that too as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, like even like going to school and just staying in there and showing the diligence and the hustle and the drive, and then God, He acknowledges that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You could say you want to do this, and He's like, "Well, you're doing this," but I like to see that drive and that hustle in you. That lets me know that once I give you this, you'll be able to maintain it and keep it, and keep on pushing forward. You know, so it's a trip, man. Just coming to find out your purpose. You know what I mean? Like God's given us gifts and talents, and that, you know, you have to be able to discern the difference in those things, and then use them. You know what I mean? With what you're blessed in. You know, like me personally, I minister through song. I wanted to be a teacher I used to say preacher, but really it's a teacher, you know. Man, that judgment starts at the pulpit.
Yeah.
And that's deep to me. That's like, hey, you know, you could be misleading the flocks or scattering the flocks, and I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I'd rather just spread the word, like do what I know is correct. You know, that's
That's
purpose.
awesome. That's awesome. Like the word go, joy, Jesus, others, yourself. You know, don't always focus on you.
Yeah.
So
Don't
do
always
it,
focus on you.
do purpose require faith? Because I say that to say that you know, sometimes we challenge ourselves in our purpose, right? We challenge ourselves and say, you know what, man, I don't know if this is right. I'm not feeling good. I'm stressed out. I'm ready to get this up. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do that. I mean, there's a lot of different elements to go into your purpose, like faith, belief. I mean, just having that strong will and discipline inside of your purpose. And I say that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I mean, sometimes you always challenge it. You challenge yourself, right? And say, man, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Or I'm stressed out because of this situation or this situation. But you have to just keep on moving forward based on.
Well, faith is like, with
You have
faith
to
you
have
can
faith
find
within
your
yourself.
purpose. You know what I'm saying? And because when things is, I remember sitting in college crying and like, Lord, I don't understand the terminology. What are they talking about? And like, man, I can't take this. And he just said, just do all your homework, keep on coming every day, and I got you. I got an A+ in that class. And I was in the classroom crying about it. Like, I can't do this, God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as you don't quit and you're like on the path of something that is righteous or good, you know what I mean, like acceptable, then man, you straight and you'll find your purpose like right away, you know, most of the time. But and then like with the youngsters, man, we got youngsters running around. Like when I was running around, if somebody could have just pulled me to the side and gave me like 2 or 3 key words, man, I wouldn't have wasted them 20 years in the streets, because I'd be like, man, what? I ain't got to do this? Nah, you ain't got to do that. Well, I'm hungry, man. I ain't got no food. Well, here, man, you need some. You know, I mean, like now, if I ever got bad, like remember, you know, people we would people would go to Stater Brothers or wherever and steal. You know what I'm saying? Food. I'll go in there and ask the manager. Can I talk to the manager? I'll be like, man, you know, I'm hungry, man. Is there anything you got? You know, and God can touch his heart at that moment and be like, he could have came in here and just stole something, man. But he came to me and. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yeah, man, we got some food. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to try to figure it out yourself and, okay, well, I can't get a job, so I got to do this. Or I got to do that. No, you ain't got to do nothing but sit still and wait on God. And stay connected and keep on staying in his face like, Lord, you know. And he's like, I know. And one day the devil's going to say, hey, can I touch Cain today, or can I mess with this? And God, no.
Like, nope, not today.
Nope, not today. And if you stay connected, it'll be nope every day, because every day he's at the throne. Let me touch him. Let me get him. Let me, you know what I'm saying?
And every day it's actually a challenge to you against you to get through today, because unfortunately some people give up on today not knowing they was about to have a wonderful tomorrow. It could have been hitting a scratch off. It could have been somebody's about to call you, but you went on and ruined today because you trapped yourself inside of your own mind. When you could have just, like I said, hey, you could have just took a nap.
Yeah.
All else fails, y'all, hear and believe me clearly. Go take a nap.
Yeah.
Because when you sleep, you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Just get through the day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go take a nap.
I don't know. Well, people, maybe y'all can hear me, because it's always a thin line. Because he just mentioned something, and I'm not getting it or something. Because, like he mentioned the store scenario and being hungry and I mean, maybe is that your purpose? I mean, is that your purpose to go through this hunger to be able to learn what you need to learn? And I say that by me going through the experiences that I went through as far as incarceration. And I can say, well, you know, if somebody told me this, I could have avoided all this jailhouse, prison, juvenile hall type scenario. But was it my purpose to go through this, right? To get whatever I needed to get to become the person that I am?
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying?
I think that was the road. We all had it.
Whatever it is that you were doing prior to you getting incarcerated, clearly you were either being a very hard-headed child and needed a bump on the head in order to get to where you need to be. Because you weren't seeing what you needed to see clearly.
Okay, now say I got these bumps on the head and I got all that and I still didn't get it. I mean, I still didn't get. I got punishments. I got bumped on the head. I got whoopings from every source. I mean, you can name whatever tool you want to use, a name, but I just didn't get it because divinely or spiritually, whatever wasn't open, or it was a blockage, or it was my will instead of God's will that I was operating on, and I didn't get my purpose until I was set down in prison. Then it hit me. Then I had the awakening after a few years, right?
Because then you had nothing but time to analyze everything.
And what you wanted to do, you couldn't possibly do no more. I mean, you could have kept doing stupid stuff, you know,
Inside of
there. But then it's like, wait a minute, man. No.
So other people bring upon your purpose. Like I said, you know, I got a daughter out there. I got two daughters out there, Kima and Kiala out there. You know what I'm saying? I need to get out there. I got a family out there. You know what I'm saying? So my purpose is to get out there. My purpose is to be around them. You know,
Yeah.
can that be that could be a yield sign or a sign to my purpose?
Yeah.
Almost like an awareness sign. Now you're designating your purpose to what you really should have been from check.
So it's different for everybody.
So I'm interested in your purpose, hearing about your purpose. So
My purpose is to help others that feel like they cannot help themselves, which is where my positivity comes into, my words of wisdom, though I'm still gaining my own wisdom as I get older. The thought of being able to reach out to someone that I have no idea of knowing who they are, for them to be able to tell me how I inspire them because I decided to share certain things about my life or me as a person because they were afraid to. Knowing that changes them and how their behaviors are, and you know, that is the blessing to me. That is my purpose. For me to be able to be so outspoken and change the views of others just because I decided to share.
Awesome.
And it's like when you get messages, like I was telling you before, you get these anonymous messages or just messages from strangers, people you just met, or just from having a conversation with them and being so positive because they are so literally down to where they no longer want to live, or they want to take their life, or it's just they literally have no hope, and you become that light to them just from the words that you share, because you genuinely learn to care about others, not because of what they can give to you, but because what you can give to them. And it doesn't have to be materialistic, but it's just being able to be by their side for them, whether it's you giving them an ear, whether you're explaining certain things that they don't understand because you've been through it through your own experience. So it's just, and I feel like that's my purpose, being able to allow people or helping people realize.
That was like perfect.
You just got a bunch of blessings just now.
That was perfect. That was perfectly, you know, that was perfectly expressed. And you know what? Because I read her, you know, her inspirational message she be having on Facebook.
And ain't none of this stuff written down, y'all.
You guys need to,
it's from the heart.
Need to log on to her inspirational messages that she have on Facebook. Jennifer Ward, you have to read it because just what you just said right now is the reflection of your inspirational message that you have on there. So everything is genuine, organic right here when she say that, because I read it.
And we ain't reading nothing off no paper. This is all just raw.
Nope, it's all me. Fresh words, okay? On the spot.
So we like to do stuff here and there, like I'm gonna challenge myself like I challenge people, man. Try to be that tree, man. Be that fruit, and don't forget them trees got branches. That's called your children, you know what I'm saying? So you want some good branches, start breaking off that tree, you know what I'm saying? Be that beautiful, wonderful, tall, strong tree, you know? Then your extensions of you, your branches will be all right, you know? Because you could take a branch by itself, put it in the ground, and it could form its own tree.
Yeah.
Just from a branch.
Yeah.
One little branch. I did it a long time ago. Put a branch in my mama's yard. Here it is this many years later. It's a real tree. So that's how you could be too, you know? Be a tree. Your kids can be the nice branches.
Yeah, they can't be tossed to and fro whenever the wind blows like a solid.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That, who's it, redwood or one of them solid?
Yeah, that's like redwood. Yeah.
Redwood trees.
On that can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
So I mean, what can we do to reach the people out there? What
You're
can we
doing it
do to
right
help?
now.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I mean, I just feel that it's
You
so
could've
much
been
more. I feel that it's so much more. You know what I'm saying? That, I mean, you're just getting down to the core issue. I mean, the core issue of the house.
I like this more. Like we could be anywhere else right now, like shooting pool or watching the game or something. You know what I'm saying? We doing it right now. We we being that voice and that light. We got a new female light.
Yeah.
You know, all this is here. You know, the light, the tree, be all that. You know,
Yeah.
Jesus, others, yourself. Joy,
You gonna sit that?
That's up to you, whatever you want.
joy.
Here you go.
I get my
There you
joy.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get up. Yeah.
So we ain't losing y'all, right? We still live. We try. You know, we.
Oh, I just want them to come in because I need to see some of the
No, I'm
messages
saying,
that got up there.
Yeah. So
Because I'm quite sure we have some
we don't wanna
interesting
lose y'all now.
responses. We got some interesting responses. Like you said, we keep it real 100. And so we interested in your responses. We interested in finding out what our purpose is. We finding out because I know we talk about a lot of different, we look into other people's experiences and we say, you know what, this person could have did something this way, or a person could have did something that way, or a person should have done it that way. You know what I'm saying? And when it coming down to purpose, we don't know. That was the purpose. That was that person's purpose.
right.
We don't know. Shit.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't know what his purpose is, but I understand what I got from wherever his end was. What I got out of that, you know what I'm saying? I got out of him leaving early, or passing away early, or doing whatever. You know, I guess to say that I learned from whatever his experience was.
Yeah.
Maybe that was maybe I learned something from that. I got something from that. You know, even though he probably wasn't here or she wasn't here, as long as I want them to be here. Feel what I'm saying? I think the gift is getting from them what they have available right now.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? Getting from them what they have available right now and taking that.
Yeah,
They have a
taking
long-term gift.
Yeah, like even with my father, he wasn't a cool father. He wasn't there, whatever. He was there, but he wasn't there. And all he taught me was basically the opposite of him. And that's cool. I'm a good man. I don't put my hands on women. I'm a gentleman. I open door. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. But if you ask somebody what was the purpose for him even being there, it seemed like there was no purpose, but he was actually still teaching me something, even though he wasn't teaching me nothing.
Not like that.
I know that's
Teaching
crazy,
you to
but
do better.
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
No, I see it because it's like, I mean, regardless of what type of mentality that person has, there's always something in there, whether it's fear, whether you get fear out of that, or you get whatever resentment out of it. It's for a reason, it's for a purpose that you get this fear. Now you understand what fear is. You understand what fear feel like.
Yeah.
You understand the experience. Then you know this is what I don't do.
yeah.
Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
That
know?
is not my purpose.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You learn
It's-
from the things you choose to do and the things you choose not to do.
Yeah.
So what is some of the terminology that we don't use? Because I was just sitting up here while I was talking, thinking about resentment, right? Now, if I'm holding resentment toward the person because the person did something to me, you know, and like we were just saying, the person might have had a bad mentality or a bad attitude and places fear in me. Now I got this resentment towards this individual. Is it a time that once we grow up, we let that go? I mean, we let that resentment go?
I think you should.
You have to.
Because at the end of the day, you having resentment towards someone else, what is that doing for them? That's not doing nothing for them.
It's
That's
just
hurting you more than
yeah,
it's hurting them.
mentally and physically. You have to remember to wake up every day mad.
So sometimes
You know
you
what
have
I'm
to
saying?
learn
You-
to
you
forgive,
know,
not for them, but for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta forgive when you're the one that they did it to. You
Yeah.
gotta be the one to step up. Like, you did it to me. I gotta come to you and
And
the other way around. Forgive. Like, I should be choking you out right now, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and forgive you right now. I'm gonna forgive, but I ain't gonna forget. And they're like, you the one did me wrong. Here I am, forgiving you. Hey man, it's cool that you. You know what I'm saying?
It starts
It's
the
crazy.
healing process.
But if I come to you, or I come to you and say, you know what, I did this to you, but I didn't know. I didn't know better.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? I think the forgiveness part come in from another individual is like, you know what, I only did what I knew. I'm saying, you know,
Yeah.
I only gave you what I had. You know what I'm saying? And that might have been passed on to me from generation to generation, and I passed it on. But I caused all this resentment, but I didn't know.
But see, the difference from you and another person is you just said, if I walk up to them and I say, you know what,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I did not know.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that.
No.
A lot of people keep their mouth shut, continue to do what they do, hurt those along the way,
Yeah.
and leave it at that.
But they don't know. They never
And-
acquired to know. I mean, they never grew to know.
They can be
Even
deceived
they
by
died in that they died in that mentality.
Yeah.
Okay.
sad.
Yeah.
Do I hold them? I mean, I ask them his forgiveness, but I mean, it's like I think it's at a point where you say, you know what, that person only knew what they knew. I can't
Yeah.
keep holding this anger, this resentment towards them because they only knew what they knew,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and they didn't know. It's sad because they didn't know that they knew that they couldn't, or they didn't know this.
Yeah.
You know, I think in a lot of relationships and a lot of family is like that, and that's why we have this anger and this resentment in these households, is because you know what, the person is just like that. I mean, they die like that. They die angry. They die mad.
You
But
know,
that's who they
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
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 They don't. Nobody apologizes. That's the problem. Like all these years go by. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm grown. He's always been grown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to talk and be in my life, but you don't want to apologize.
No
Now
one
I
is
already
wrong.
forgave you because I need to heal. You know what
Right
I'm saying?
there.
And but
Right there.
But if you want to be a part of my life, you need to come correct. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that we can grow together from this point.
Yeah, and there's probably gonna be a punch behind it, but you
Yeah.
know, at least you
Yeah.
earn that punch and you and
Yeah.
the apology at the same time, because sometimes you need to get punched
Yeah.
with the apology. You just do. That's just life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just life.
So that comes
That's
to
the
a
difference. That's
that,
a man.
That come to
apologizing.
that come to
Woman.
another interesting topic about apology. Right now, I'm asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for apologies. I did something. If I did something wrong to you. Now, are you asking me vice versa? And I'm not ready to forgive you. I'm not ready to accept your forgiveness. I mean, is that proper? I mean, even though you asked me for it, I mean, would it be? What would that bring? What would
I mean,
that do to
initially,
you?
if you're the one that did wrong, you owe that apology. If she or he or whatever is still upset, then give them time to grieve that upsetness. And when they're ready, they will come to you and be like, you know what? Okay, I'm ready to talk. But you have to learn to give people space because everyone's not ready to forgive you at the drop of a dime because you feel you're ready to apologize. Because sometimes, half the time, that apology is not even genuine or sincere.
Exactly.
Hear that, people?
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear that because they tell us that. I mean, because they say, you know what? When you ask them, when you ask somebody for forgiveness and they're not ready to give you, then I done created some resentment because I'm mad because you didn't forgive me. Now it wasn't about that person. It was about me, how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
It's
It was
like
never about that
feelings, yeah.
individual.
You put your feelings where they shouldn't have. See, the thing about forgiveness, when you ask somebody to forgive you and then say they're not ready, and they're holding on to something, well, I'm done. I asked you to forgive me. I'm done. You feel what I'm saying? I still pray for you. I still love you. I still want you in my circle. But if you're holding on to that and it's going to be messing with me because the spirit is going to, I'll feel that spirit on you. And if I don't stay armored up with the armor of God, then it's going to be bothering me. So it's like you have to, like she was saying, give space and let that person. They can't be in your circle, like they're in your circle, but they're not.
Right.
At the same time, you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if they're in your circle, you're like it's watering old seeds
It turns
that
into
you
a
went.
cancer.
It's
Yeah,
starting to build
that's-
up.
Yeah,
And
it's
instead
just-
of and
yeah.
it's a small problem, instead of having that small problem, instead of you parting ways, you guys continue to be around, but it's like it builds up, and that small little problem becomes a huge problem.
Yeah.
Then you never get that apology.
That goes
Yeah,
on
if-
daily.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the forgiveness, take that punch, man. Take it like a man.
Yeah.
Take that. I mean,
Yeah.
we all could be on both sides of that punch, because we all live in a glass house. Can't throw no stones. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure.
We all
Hopefully, some people forgave me from some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, because we all been victims and we all been victimized and we all been,
There you go.
know what I'm saying, on the other end of the spectrum. So I mean, just learning to not judge. That's one of the biggest things too, is learning to not judge. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Learning to forgive. Learning to give up resentment. Learning to make amends.
Spiritual discernment too.
Yeah.
You have to be able to discern, like if this person's a wolf in sheep's clothing, or if
Yeah.
it's a real genuine person. Like test the spirit of the person. It ain't about what they say, how they look. You got to test that spirit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then once you do that, Father will tell you, God will tell you if you can, like, yeah, this is my people. You know what I mean? Like, it's really spiritual, man. A lot of it, like 95% of it.
Spiritual, your intuition. You just gotta follow that gut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
So how do you feel now about where you at presently in your life? When you bottle all of it down and you're right where you at?
I've been cool since kindergarten. my stuff been so cool, make people jealous. I gotta fill in the blanks and act like stuff been going wrong. I'm like, man, as long as I got the creator and I got me wherever I go, I got a good chance of whatever I'm going through. I got me with me, and I got God with me. So how can I lose? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. And I mean, I wish people would, for themselves, feel some of what they should be feeling. You know, don't feel down all the time, because you ain't the only one, man. You ain't the only one. You can do something about it.
Yeah.
You can do something about it. You can ask for some help. You can ask for some, like say, counseling. It could be counseling from a friend, like we say. You could ask for some help. You could seek some help. It could be OGs. It could be hanging with the old dudes on the avenue, people that have been through stuff. You know, and most of all, man, pray.
Yes.
Prayer really works. Not the fake prayer where God gave you this precious day and you get home and you give him that lazy prayer inside your mind. No, get on your knees, touch the ground, man, and give the Creator.
And it's a daily
Give it
thing.
to him.
It ain't just a one.
You know, don't give him that fake prayer.
Thing.
Give him the real prayer.
Yeah, it's a daily. Like I study every day, every morning.
Backing
know
out the
what I'm
driveway
saying?
prayer.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
Talk.
It's beautiful how you said that. I like that quote that you say, be with you.
Oh, wherever you go, you take you with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wherever you go,
You go to
take
Texas,
you
you're gonna
with
be in
you.
Texas.
And you know, and I say that to say, I say that to say because a lot of when we going back down into the urban areas and the communities is that we take on a lot of facade. We take on a lot of different people's personality because we want to be accepted for whatever reason, acceptance reasons or whatever. You don't want to fit in, but we take on so many different personalities. It's like that movie. It was when I touch you, my stuff going in you, and then you touch it, it goes in you. You know what I'm saying? So we take on this facade, we take on these different personalities, we never find out who we are until it's too late. Feel what I'm saying? Until we sit still or we present somewhere that we never find out, and we never take us with us. We take everybody else with us.
Right.
And that's that saying that says that when my insides reflect your outsides. Feel what I'm saying? I left when I was 2 years old, you know what I'm saying? You know, I took on everybody else's personality because the reason, whether it was from abandonment issues, whether it was a place of wanting to fit in, hurt, pain, or whatever, I didn't want to deal with me. So I took on, imagine taking on all these sick personalities from other individuals, and you got like 100 different sick personalities in your head. That's the community that you were talking about to smooth out. You know what I'm saying? So I think in our urban communities, we have a lot of that going on, and without that therapy and without these programs and without us being able to share what we know, I mean, to get rid of a lot of that that's going on in the neighborhood and in the households. How do you feel?
You know, just and acknowledge your taps when guys, hey, don't do that. Acknowledge that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because God ain't gonna, hey, I told you this, that. He don't have to do that. He's God. He speaks and you're supposed to hear, but you gotta be able to get the flesh in subjection to be able to hear God. You know, so, you know.
Especially when you're asking him to show you.
Yeah.
When you start seeing signs, if you choose to ignore that, then that's on you.
Yeah.
Because he's showing you what you're asking.
Yeah.
But sometimes us as people, we get so stubborn, we refuse to see what we want to see because we don't want to see it.
Yeah. Like the boat. Remember the thing where the guy was in the ocean or somewhere in a boat, and God sent a boat by, and then he's like, waiting on God or whatever, and then another boat, and then when he died, he said, God, how come you didn't save me? I was praying. He's like, man, I sent 5 boats or whatever it was. You know what I mean? It's like the saving is there. You know what I mean? And
You just
and
have
you
to
don't,
learn to pay attention.
and you ain't got to get your whole arm cut off, man. Just take that love tap, say, Father, I'm sorry, and that little, because he chastises who he loves. You know, he's going to, hey, man, hey, you know what I'm saying? And like in your case or some people's cases, man, some people can get that little love tap and wake up, and some people got to get their arm taken off. Some people, you know, God might have a purpose for you and need to set you to the side for a minute so he can actually talk to you and you're listening instead of traffic and birds and dogs and you know what I'm saying. All
Two
this
hands that go hand in hand.
Yeah.
God gives the toughest battles to the strongest of His people,
Yeah.
and He won't put you through anything you can't endure.
Mhm.
So for the
right.
fact that He put you through that battle, He know you can take it, and He put you through it for a reason.
And you guys are setting it up for one of my
Yeah.
every session quotes. Remember this, y'all. This might help you out. If your outgo is more than your income, then your upkeep is going to be your downfall. If your outgo is more than your income, then your upkeep is going to be your downfall. So live within your means, man. You don't got to be ballerific and Bugetto and all the rest of that stuff, man, because, you know.
Showing out for those you don't even know.
Right.
That's when you ain't with you. You with
That's
somebody.
when
You
right.
with somebody else. You took on somebody else's personality and not yours. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
You try to live up to somebody else's expectations and standards.
Right.
You know.
Only difference, you ain't a baller and he really balling.
He say, "Well, you're an baller, not a baller."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bugetto. Bugetto.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is real talk, Urban Innovators.
Yes.
Real talk, and like we say, we do it real, 10 toes down, and every Tuesday evening, and we like
Tuesday.
We like to
I know
use the long horn,
Yeah.
and we're gonna make this even excited is that
What you think of Tuesday?
I mean, and what we can do too is you guys throw some topics out there, you know, that we can choose from, and maybe we can pick a topic that they choose
Yeah.
to throw out to us that we can kind of speak on and talk about, so you know you guys can engage in a lot more in our discussion. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Feel a part of it. You know, so I mean, we looking forward to that. Also. The last video, the last live talk is on it's on Urban Innovators, and that's dealing with being desensitized.
Catch it on YouTube if you got Wi-Fi.
Catch it
your
on
phone.
YouTube. I want you to catch Emily and her book, The Broken Gold.
The Broken Gold.
That catch her on YouTube and catch her on Facebook. So I want you guys to go see that.
Emily Ames. Our website will be up soon. So look out for that.
So and we plan on seeing you guys next week. You know, with some hot topics. And we keep it real.
Before we go, I'm going to shout out to the city of Riverside. We up and coming. We growing. Riverside gonna be a nice place to be again, man. Like back in the Fairmont Park days. You know what I'm saying, with the skee ball and all that. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Riverside. I'm also gonna give a shout out to Dukes. You're bored on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, take it on down to Dukes. They got karaoke, they got Taco Tuesday, and they just starting off Wing Wednesday. So you're bored, going down to Dukes. It's on Iowa. Iowa and Blaine.
Shout out. Yeah.
That's right.
And I'd like to give a shout out to my sister Pooka. I know she's watching. Phil, we didn't get to your. I know you right there, Phil. 10 toes down, standing tall. I'm giving you a shout out now.
I heard we in Texas now too.
It's just that the phone is a little far and I can't see with these glasses on. But I feel you and I know you there, brother. So you know we appreciate your support. We appreciate everybody that logged in and hit us.
Las Vegas, Texas.
And we try to take this thing strong. You know what I'm saying? We want to be able to address these issues that's going on. We want to be able to uplift our community, and we want to be able to give you, if you have any talent or anything, we want to be able to give you exposure. That's what Urban Innovators, Real Talk Social Media is about. Is catering to the urban community. So you know we ask for you guys' support. You know a lot of things that we want to do and we want to cover. You know what I'm saying? I know we can do it with you guys' support. I understand that we don't have no major league team down here in the Empire, but let us be your major league team. You know what I'm saying? And we'll take you to the championship. You can believe that.
Yes, sir.
So, and my co-host, Jennifer, she made it here today with us.
Yes, I came.
We
He
got
dragged
the lady
me out,
side
y'all.
today.
Just
We got
kidding.
the lady
Yeah,
side.
you know what I'm saying?
He dragged me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Unscripted, raw. Nothing written down.
Running it. So, and
So
I
drink
just-
your water and your green tea.
And like I
Say your prayers.
I love all you guys out there, you know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned from the very first, you know, I love all you guys out there, You know,
Texas, Las Vegas, what's up?
my family. You know,
Massachusetts, what's up, fam?
So,
Thank you for supporting.
you know, we finna be on the Miz-app in a minute.
Oh,
You
what
know
about
we're
shout out
talking
to the
about?
grown folks?
And the grown folks.
Ooh, yeah, tell
The
'em.
grown folks picnics is July the 13th. You know, you can purchase your tickets through me. Hit me on Facebook. You know, if you want tickets, they're $15. So hit me if you want to go to the grown folks picnic. It's 45 and over. There's going to be food. There's going to be music.
This is
there's gonna
year
be
number 10, right?
entertainment. This is the 10th annual grown folks. You know, we got a lot of exciting things going down there. We got beautiful people that's orchestrating it. You know, so if you want something to do on a Saturday,
Fairmount Park,
July
right?
at Fairmount Park,
Fairmount Park.
Riverside, California. Hit me on Facebook. Hit us on Urban Innovators, Real Talk, social media. Hit us any way you can, and go fly past in an airplane. Just get there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We have another Urban Innovators have another interview coming up.
On the Tuesday. This Tuesday, was it the 12th?
Yes.
Yes, the 12th.
With Monique Laura Stinson, two-time Emmy TV producer, entrepreneur winner. So we having that's going to be exciting because she's an exciting, energetic, hard-working woman. I gave it to her. That's my partner. So we're hoping to log in on July the 12th. We'll have Monique there, so you can see us there too. So we're gonna try to make. It's gonna be around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. So if time change, we'll let you know. But beforehand, we love you guys' support. So with that, love you, family. Peace out, and all the rest of the Urban Innovator family. We got you. We working for y'all. Y'all see us out here doing it. We're waiting on you guys. Peace out.
You know, try to be better than yesterday.